Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the playing on the Hermitcraft server. Having the weirdest feeling of like, oh, I've forgotten something right before I start streaming. And it's Discord. Discord isn't open. Let's get it open. Okay, I'm all set up. I'm all ready to go. It's Sunday morning. We haven't done one of these early ones in a while. Got some hype music to enjoy today, that's for sure. Bananas in chat from the Cheese Eater and Cute Pyro, thank you so much. I also got a decaf coffee. Not an instant one, one brewed from my French press. Got some coffee beans all the way from Peru. Very hot. The taste. Oh, so good. So good. Here's something interesting, peeps. A fun little story. Main reason that I've got a new computer is because of the area behind me becoming so laggy, right? Oh, look at those terrible frame drops, right? Where are the frame drops? Like, okay, now that I'm streaming, it's gone a little lower, but like 25, it used to be like 13, 14, and before streaming it was about 30. Where I've been setting up my new computer, I've been finding stuff on this one that's like running in the background or like things that need uninstalling. Haven't used that in ages. So everything's had a bit of a cleanup and I come back to the Nether Hub and I just noticed it's way better now. Like, it's gotten better. Let's actually put it through a little bit of a test here. Just a little bit of a test. It's around here. It used to get real bad. I mean, it's so smooth right now. We could use Mini HUD, by the way, for the FPS counter. We'll leave that on for a minute, and then I press that. No, hotkeys. I'm going to develop a script soon. A hotkeys script, where I can just have something on the side of my screen that just tells me what all of these are. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, this is fine entertainment, X. You're just wombling around like a goose. What are we looking for? It'll be under renders. See, look, all this stuff. Look, I even tried to tidy it up to help myself remember. Left and Alt is my combination for this mod. Light level overlay. L. L for light. You see? Just brilliant, but I can't remember it. Right, now the other thing to do is to go into video settings. Yeah. Extras, particles. Here we go. White ash. Apply. Done. That is not hitting my FPS the way it used to. Okay, you can see it makes it pretty darn ropey. I'm just thinking, like, maybe there were other routes I could have taken. I'm just getting a new computer to, yeah, and then up here the FPS are good. But anyway, I'm cool with it because, I think what I'm going to do moving forward is keep both systems, like, up to date and, you know, periodically turn on this one and keep it in good shape as, like, a backup system. And I've learned a few things along the way, organised some data, so like, the whole exercise has got me, yeah, just, you know, figuring a few things out, which is good. Right, let's read some noises in the ear. We got Sally Ann 123 for 89 months, Evil X in the his house. You know, when we get that 100 club, maybe we should have, like, Evil X? Glad to have you with us on a Sunday morning stream. Yes, Snowy Leah, 48, thank you for 5 months. Sharu Manaru for 42, and Raven X Monster for 20. Sharu says, just got home, nice to listen to an X stream before I go to bed. Awesome, I hope you sleep well. I did not sleep well at all last night, or the day before. I do not know what is up with me. I deliberately, yesterday, like, spent about an hour and a half away from any electronic devices. You know, just sort of had a proper wind down before I went to bed. Went to bed nice and early. And still just could not fall asleep. And I had barely slept the night before. And so I've slept for about 4 hours, then been awake for ages, and just as I'm about to sort of give up and just be like, oh, let's go get on with this. You know, I fell asleep again, and then I couldn't do as much as I wanted to do this morning. I had a bunch of jobs and stuff. I don't know. It's just like, I feel like I'm doing everything right and things are normal. Yeah, I just keep having these days where I can't sleep and getting not as much, so... Keon, thank you so much for 6 months. And the Arctic Viking, gifting some subs. Thank you so much for supporting our community. Morphei, Ratita Moon, Leo Pyatt, Payim, Cosmic Moon, and Freddie Wood, you've been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Mayschool says insert Faithless Insomnia. Now there's a tune right there. There's a tune. Yeah, Mayschool, what I was doing yesterday with the app was just putting in the details and then typing the name of it and clicking save. And then I'd log in, right? But when I'd reload it, it wouldn't be saved. So I tried again. And then one time it did save. But then if I clicked on it, the IP address wasn't there. And the key wasn't there either, and it was I just kept doing it over and over again until it like seemed to finally accept and remember it. It was weird. S1W gifting a sub to Zeoic, another gifted sub. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. X, what keyboard do you use? I use the Logitech ergonomic one. I wonder if I really need it or not, because it didn't ever feel like you get that much from the ergonomics, but it seems to be better than the one I was using before. By the way, we're here to do a little fix-it-up. We're starting off today's stream with 2, like, fix-it-up jobs. And that is a problem. If I'd have thought about that, I could have just saved myself a couple of rockets, because the very first thing to do is to go, like, way up high, and then do your nosedive down. Ah, see, they all despawned now. I kind of don't want to lose any of the pieces of the ceiling, really. And I think I want to be... Every time I come over here to do this, I always have to think it through again. I forget how to fix this darn. So, last time I AFK'd here, the server restarted. And I think there's only a slim chance... Oh yeah, I need like an instant break block. Last time I used scaffolding. Scaffolding's a pain. Slime blocks, that's what I... No. Slime... Actually, I think slime blocks would work. Got some good coffee right there. This is my first stream of yours. I just woke up. Welcome. I have not long since woken up. Yeah, so I had like a proper sleep for about 3 or 4 hours, then had this awkward can't go back to sleepness, and then had like half awake, half asleep for a few more hours. It was weird. I went and had a cold shower. I was just like, that'll wake me up, you know. X, what is your favourite letter? I don't know if I've ever been asked what my favourite letter is. There's always favourite number or favourite colour. Dang it! And no one else is online. I have to do this in the dark. Oh, that's what I could use. Just a torch. That would update it and then get broken, I believe. Oh, can you place? You can't place torches on leaves. I think actually no. I think I'm orienting myself the wrong way around. I'm supposed to be on this side. Oh, and I'm supposed to start at the bottom and make my way up. This is just going to be painfully slow. I'm not sure that I want to put that in my offhand. You know, I might come to regret that. Oh, it's all going to go wrong now, isn't it? Okay, don't fall in the death trap. Grab the ender pearls. Oh! Oh, come on! And I'm on the wrong side. Everything is going to be slow today, this stream, I can just tell. Right, so if I'm holding, like, my pick, can I quickly right-click? This isn't making sense to me. Are the blocks, like, more messed up than usual? That's the one that I've got to update. But it does not make sense to me as to how it's got itself in that position. Huh. Let's give it a try. I can't place it on there, so I'm going to have to use the slime blocks. It's going to be like a quick... Right, that's actually worked, but the farm is off up there. Okay. Okay, I don't know why, that seems really odd to me that it's like off by one back there. Oh, see? Like, why did... What's going on here? I think I didn't break it quick enough. Oh, it's trying to get me! Okay, okay, that's one floor fixed. Dang it, I thought I knew exactly what I was doing over here. Leonard says, professional Minecrafter at work. Yeah, yeah. I've repaired this thing a few times. I thought I got the hang of it by now, but apparently, you know. L+, chunk borders has nothing to do with this. It's a case of the server... Like, either I leave the area, or the server restarts. And if I AFK here overnight, it will be because the server restarts that the flying machine can potentially break. Let's wait for it to go back. So what was weird with the floor before is that it just went that way one block. Let's try again. Huh. I guess they're not symmetrical in the way they operate. That doesn't seem right to me. So yeah, the flying machines, they get stuck, you have to come in here and reset them. So that one goes that way, this one will go the other then. Yeah, that last time, I think the reason is that they got stuck more over here, so I was interacting with the other observer to fix it. That's why it feels so different. Anyway, now technically the thing is fixed. Oh my goodness me! Oh, I can't take this kind of gameplay. It's too good. I do not deserve it. I'm sorry. I'm not worthy of phantoms. They're just too well designed. I mean, oh, I don't know how to deal with this level of excitement. I'm gonna just leave the area. They're too much, those phantoms. You know, I can't deal with that level of intensity. I need simple pleasures over here. X, by any chance do you have the schematic for your gold elevator farm? It's a really cool design. I mean, I have the schematic, yeah. I haven't released it, though. Oh, God, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, I was thinking, this coffee comes all the way from Peru. And I was like, I wonder what British coffee, you know, what about coffee that's grown here? Oh, yeah, it doesn't work like that. So, coffee must have, like, for large populations... The people on this planet must have always been like a thing that was made possible by trade. So I wonder when were the first like coffee exports and imports? Flying machines breaking on unload is the most unfortunate reality of Minecraft, says Low EV Music. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to fix it. You know, you should always look for ways to fix things. It's really interesting. Just today we had a suggestion. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to reveal too much information because I thought this was so fantastic. I wanted to get... Yes, I wanted to get a box of sand as well for something. Let's pick up a box of sand. We're just going to do like odd stuff everywhere today. Excuse me. God, burps. Disgusting. Let's put this down. Sleep the night away. So often when you do stuff, there's like this question, and then you're like, oh, you can't do that. You know, like, you think there's a limitation there. Today, learned us something that, for the longest time, has just been a thing you can't do in Minecraft, and then it's like, oh no, wait a minute, there is a way you can do it. And it might lead to some really cool stuff. It just always interests me how there's lots of things like that where you put up walls in your mind or something like that, where it's like you're telling yourself it can't be done. And when you do that, you don't take action to try and figure out if it is possible. Okay, so I want one for sand and one for junk. This is officially junk. And this is redstone. Let's put it in there. This music was making me feel a little bit hype, you know. Also, look, you know, come to a desert, 100 shulker boxes. Maybe not 100. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Girls of Doom, 23 months. Thank you ever so much for the subscription, Curls. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Cute Pyro says, did you see Grian's video? It was funny. I don't think I have. I haven't looked at YouTube this morning. Right, I'm going to finish this coffee and then we're going to properly play some Minecraft. Oh, that's some good stuff. Goes cold quick. Goes cold quick. With 16 minutes, that feels like way too quick. I think maybe the stuff brewed in the French press just gets a little colder quicker. I don't know why. Right, gathering sand. What are we going to talk about while we gather sand, peeps? We're in for a long stream today. Sunday morning. Works out I can just do things these ways. I guess I could tell you a bit more about updating the computer. I've got... Oh, and I brought a new headset, right? So at some point in the week, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream with the new headset and like get feedback from VODs and live streams, and then at some point I may just switch over and then just be like, okay, this is good enough for the video, right? But yeah, I brought a new headset, and it'll be arriving in the week, and that'll be awesome. But yeah, as for upgrading the new computer, so here's the thing, right? Like, I use Sony Vegas to edit my videos. I use Edition 15, which is like, you know, 5-6 years old now. And the reason I do this is because when it comes to video editing, what I do is actually pretty basic. There isn't a lot of fancy stuff that I need, right? Minecraft's the kind of game where you essentially watch clips. And... you know, Windows 11 has a built-in video editor, and if it's anything like Windows Live Movie Maker, you could probably make your own Minecraft episodes that way, right? And if you want to put stuff like text on screen, that's really basic. But even with Minecraft, you know, you can use hooks and signs to add little things like that in if you want. So point being, I don't really need to upgrade it, but when I installed it on my new computer, it reset the offers thing, because on my current computer it's like blocked. It doesn't send me advertisements. And on that one it does, and it offered me Sony Vegas 20, which is the latest one. And like, instead of paying £1,000 for it, it's only 200. And I was like, that's interesting, I'll have a look. Because I thought these things were now on subscription models, right? They call it Sony Vegas 365 or something, and you have to pay monthly for it. Now I don't do those paying monthly for a program. That's a trap. That's really costly. You have to really be like really into that program, using it a lot. It's a big part of your profession. You need it to be constantly updated. If that's your situation, then it's a great service, you know. But it's not my situation. My situation is I can still use that app that I brought for 20 quid years and years ago to edit my videos. The only reason to occasionally upgrade Vegas really is just to keep the like rendering technology good, so you get some good rendering times. I did a crude test, by the way. My new computer renders about 5 to 10% faster, and I was like, not very much going on there at all, really, in terms of gains. So yeah, anyway, right, I'm looking at this license, and the last couple of times I brought Vegas, I got them in the Humble Bundle, so they were really cheap. They were like, you know, 40 quid or something. It was a real bargain, as opposed to paying thousands. And yeah, something just made me go, like, go look at the website, because these things are on subscription models, and although it's offering me this upgrade, I don't want to get tricked into, like, upgrading to a subscription model, right? I couldn't see any signs of it, so I went to the website, and sure enough, you know, it's called Vegas 365, it's a subscription model. But you can change the subscription options, and when you go down to it, there's two options. There's one called Upgrade, and there's one called License. Now, License would suggest that you are buying a new license, and Upgrade would suggest that you're upgrading your license. Well, the Upgrade one was slightly cheaper. I think, what did they offer it me for? It was like $220, and on the website it was only $200, and I was like, huh, it's actually cheaper if I do this manually, whereas the way they've offered me it through the app, it's more expensive. That's odd. And then I checked out license, and it's half the price to buy a fresh new license. It's like $100. And I spent a little bit of time on it. I was like, this is kind of like too good to be true, right? They've offered me these upgrade prices, but buying a fresh one is cheaper, and I get to keep my old licenses for the old Vegas. Very peculiar. Anyway, I switched the website over to the UK edition, double checked everything. I was pretty sure, yeah, this isn't the pay monthly. This is it. This is legit. And it was £92 in the end, which is the most I've ever paid for some editing software. And it kind of looks like I'm going to get absolutely nothing extra for it now that I think about it. Because I don't use any of all the fancy features they got. I got the basics. But I was thinking stability and rendering times. Now, stability I haven't been able to check. Vegas is known for crashing a lot, and it's something you tolerate. And you tolerate in a way where, like, I reflexively autosave. Like, as I'm editing, my hand just continuously clicks Control-S. If I can just get rid of that, it'll just save me some headaches over time. So I'm hoping I get the stability. Adobe is such a scam, says Mission Impossible. We're talking about Sony, not Adobe. And, anyway. So I got the software, it's installed, all of that. The thing that, like, it reminded me of is that the price is the price. Like, don't ever think in terms of, oh, I'm getting 20% off or something. No, you're always paying the price. Okay? Otherwise, it's a FOMO thing. So, you know, they're sort of like, buy now, you won't get 50% off. That kind of thing. So, I think it's, like, a bit sad that they'll offer a discount through the application, like, hey, come upgrade, look, we're going to give you this big 70% discount. Yet, if you go to the website, it's actually cheaper for a first-time buyer. Like, what does that say about how they treat their customer base, right? I think practices like that shouldn't be allowed. I think prices should be, like, fair. There's some stuff I remember, there's some stuff, I think it's... Oh, it's coming back to me. It's insurance. So, here's the thing about, like, your behavior, browsing the web, and how your data is, like, tracked and sold to insurance companies and stuff like that. You probably heard about this. Oh, your data's being stored and sold and all of this. With insurance companies, they build a profile of what sort of customer you are. Are you someone who scouts around for a deal? Or are you someone who just clicks on the first thing and buys it? Right? Because insurance companies will offer insurance to you online based on your profile. So if you're someone who shops around a lot, they offer you low prices on your insurance to be competitive. But if you're someone who just tends to click on the first thing, they make the price that you see higher, right? This is why I think there should be, like, fair pricing rules for everyone. Because if they've got that information about you, they'll leverage it against you. So I think the thinking here is that as a Sony Vegas user, it is less likely that I'm going to the website to look at how much Sony Vegas costs than someone who needs some editing software. So when they offer an existing customer a new copy of Sony Vegas, it's like, you know, hey, we'll give you this big discount. And you're like, oh yeah, I want to upgrade my Vegas, but you're paying more than someone who's buying it for the first time, and you've already paid for it before. Just the older one. Yeah. By the way, every time I come here, I always just put like a few extra blocks on this pyramid that I was just like clearing up some blocks nearer to the portal, and it kind of looked like a pyramid shape, and I was just like, I'm gonna keep that. So now every time I come here, I drop off a few extra blocks. It's Xisuma's pointless project. Firefox is the only web browser. Please use Firefox, says Roncon Shimo. Firefox is not the only web browser, and you should research and learn about what each of the browsers are and what they do, and pick one based on that. What I tend to do is use multiple browsers for their different features and segregate different types of work into the different browsers. I use Chrome to do stuff on YouTube because Google likes to make things not work on Firefox and other... Is that a new... No, that's the one that I made. That's one of my odd jobs, by the way. I've got to build a tunnel here eventually for the cornflower farm. Good reminder. Yeah, so what I do is I segregate stuff. I use Brave browser for like personal things, and I use Firefox for Minecraft stuff. So I like segregate them and then use different features of each browser. Like Brave has like a cool synchronization feature and yada yada yada, you know. Like I'm not like waving a flag on. Yeah, I've said it many times. I'm not a brands person. I'm not a loyalty person. You know, I'll use the products for what they're good for, but I'm not gonna wave a flag in front of someone and be like, you should use Firefox and only Firefox. Nah, there's different strokes for different folks. We got gifted subs. King Claw Blazer gifting subs to the Snowy Husky, the Viking Dane, Echo Hawk, Timo, and Xeros. Thank you so much for gifting those subs. Greatly appreciated. Nymph says, what do you think of Opera? Back in the day, Opera was the innovator browser. Like, from Internet Explorer to having, like, plugins and tabs and launch pages and, like, some of these features that are now really prominent, Opera was the one that was adding those features because I used it for a long time. And then all of a sudden, like, eventually all the other browsers started to catch up with it, and it kind of fell behind. So yeah, I always think of Opera as being a really decent one. So, we're here to fix this, right? Like, I wanted to be done with this project, and then I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, hang on a minute, we spent all this time doing this redstone, and something's wrong. So, like, torch on. Well, actually, let's start with the lamp. The lamp is off. The hopper is locked. Simple. The lamp is off. The hopper is locked, right? No, it's not locked. I don't know how we got this so wrong. So we need to rip this up. We need to rip and repair. And apparently I need to get some wax on some of this too. Rip it up, build it again. Because it's not the right way around somehow. Which is weird because we just spent such a long time going back and forth on how to do this. So yeah, it's all sort of flipped. And I think because of that, I've flipped the ones that I want. Or did I do that or not? So it's like I'm farming these ones. And that's correct. So if the lamp is on... No, I've left it... No, Blackstone is one I didn't want to farm anymore. And Soul Sand was as well. Okay, so yeah. The levers are on the... They're flipped. The levers are flipped for the outcome that I actually wanted. Essentially. Right, let's see if we can do this. Firefox Icefox. Firefox is the name of the browser. I switched to Opera GX recently. I want to say it's decently good. You'll find like most things are pretty competent at doing stuff these days, right? What you want to learn about, what you want to understand is generally just stuff with like security and tracking and what's going on with your data with a browser, right? Because something like the Brave browser, for example, is much more security focused, and then something like Chrome is very telemetry, data grabbing, you know, sending biometrics and stuff. Well, not biometrics, but you know, data about the app back to Google. They use a lot of that data, right? And you should know that, and you should be comfortable with whatever the boundaries are there. LibreWolf is the most privacy-focused browser. Could well be. Just Brave is one I know to be oriented towards privacy, and I gave it a try, and I thought it was pretty decent. Mind Kibbles is here with some cheers and bits, saying, X, dude, I'm watching you in the middle of a meeting. Lol. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, what kind of meeting is it? Actually, now I'm thinking it's like I sort of pictured like a boardroom meeting. Now I think maybe it could be an online, like an online meeting, you know. What do you call it? Zoom call and all that. I don't know. Thank you so much for the cheers and biddies, dude. I actually heard a really crazy story yesterday related to remote work, which I thought was kind of interesting. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a bit. I got so many extensions in my browser, says Hero Blender. I got a fair few. I got like privacy-oriented ones and dark mode, of course. Gotta have dark mode. So it seems to me like if we were to... Oh, I should grab some basic redstone as well, right? Like, can't fix redstone without more redstone, I believe. Hey Xisuma, go back in time. You heard any good hip-hop albums lately? To go back in time. Oh, you want like a recommendation? I mean, I've been like, what have I been listening to hip? Not a lot of hip hop lately. Just the Wu-Tang. I can't stop listening to Inspector Deck. Oh, there's a wait a minute. This torch was entirely aesthetic, wasn't it? Interesting. Or maybe it wasn't. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of that because it's going to break my train of thought. So what I was thinking is you have a block here, then a torch there. Right, but the thing is we want our signal now to be on again. If we, yeah, look, you see it's a straightforward torch on, output on. So we need to maintain that. So if our torch is on, which it is, so too does our output need to be on. You need like one more inversion here, which we don't have. Okay. So the idea of that... hang on a minute. This should work with that. Did I like mess that up somewhere? What is going on? One, two. Yeah, you got to think like, because it inverts. You got to think like one torch repeater. So you got to go 1, 2, 3 over here is the deal. How would you fit that many in? So like 1, 2, and then you need a third torch. So let's get rid of that. I don't think this fits in here this way. So if I put this here and a torch there, it will lock it. But then how do I get that one involved? Wait, do I need to? Because it's like a 1-for-1 here? Ah. Ah, it kind of looks like actually it's what we already built, just Missing something, maybe? No, it's... just arranged a little different. So in order for me to build this, I probably actually need to build it from that side over there, coming this way. Oops! Okay. I had this like feeling of water. As soon as I broke it, it felt like water was going to gush down, but it didn't. Because we're in a different dimension. So that is going to lock this, and then the one on that side is locking that. That's legit now. I'm pretty sure that's legit. Torch on, output on, output on. But I think we're going to have to build it from this side first. Now we know what we're doing. I'm a little baffled as to how I built this wrong the first time, but we're there now, so we'll fix it, and then we'll run away. Never tell anyone about it again. Ah, bartering. Makes sense why this is in the Nether. Yes, because we're doing bartering here. Hey X, any chance you'd guest star as a voice guest on Imp and Skiz podcast, or maybe Impulse could front up the derp coins and bring you in person? I would, you know, I'd happily be a guest if they were to ask me to. I've been on a couple of podcasts before. They've been fun. In fact, I think I did like an interview with someone. Yeah, I did an interview with this guy who's like a German kid or something. And this was before you'd call it podcasts or anything like that. That was a long, long time ago, though. That was like within the first year, probably, of starting this YouTube thing. Huh. Now, when we got to this bit, it was just a repeater into a block, yeah. So, the torch is there for that one. I think it also locks this one above as well, which is interesting. Then you got that, and that's legit correct. Beautiful. I'll focus for a second just to make sure I get all of this correct as we shim-sham around placing these blocks. Don't want to mess any of it up. Yeah, see, look, running out of space. That's why I said I needed to do it from that side coming in, because I'm going to have to come back here and break this now in order to put that in. And then... Ah. Oh! No, wait, I did place those. Okay. Okay. A little bit of panic. A little bit of like, did I goof that up? Ugh! Desperate jump there. Callum Corpse says, hi, Xisuma. First time catching your stream. What time is it for you? It is 9:45 in the morning. 9:45. Welcome to the stream. Bam! There we go. Then we put these things on top of there. Right, now, I think we established that it was flipped, right? This layout almost seems like identical to the one we had before. Like, it feels it. Maybe just from up here, the way it looks, it's pretty close. Yeah, we need to flip those switches back. Max F153. Thank you ever so much for using your Amazon Prime subscription on me. Appreciate that. Peeps, if you did not know, you can use Amazon Prime to subscribe to someone on Twitch. You get a free one once a month. So, I don't want that. Yeah, I just got to click them all once. It's basically, they'll need to be flipped. So, the issue is that I was getting the wrong materials through. I really need some more obsidian. Right, so after today's stream, I will head back here and I will unleash the beast, the bartering farm. We could actually just do a little bit of that right now and get it stocked up. Oh, I don't have my gold on me. But I do have all of this. Very good. And possibly I could use my clicker on stream. By the way, I need to check something, right? Has the stream quality been good today? Let me know in the chat, peeps, because I'm currently copying 230 gigabytes of video through, I think, a USB 2 cable. So that's probably not taxing my recording drive very much, but it's also, this stream is being recorded to it. Russell Woods, thank you ever so much for 24 months, 2 years with the Prime. Appreciate you, my dude. Thank you for sticking around and supporting what we do here. It's appreciated. Stream is awesome, says Icepick. That sounds good. Am I going to sign TCG cards? Yeah, I'm going to stamp them. Looks like the way I'm going to go. Someone said to me that, like, the fact that, like, I can't write and stuff maybe, like, gives signing them some character. What I should probably do, I'm going to write this down. I just need to put it in front of me and remember to do it at some point. A felt tip pen? Why am I thinking of that? Just any old pen. Actually, no, it would be a felt, wouldn't it? I think that's the best way to sign a card. If I practice signing not my name, but the name Xisuma, maybe I'll get a better feel for it. But, like, my handwriting is just so, like, wonky and difficult that basically, like, everything that I sign will look really different, and there will be so many mistakes. But someone said, like, well, that could be, like, the charm of it, right? Like, that could be the point. It's like, you signed it, and you signed it your way. And I was kind of like, you got a good point there. You know, maybe it's the act of me making that awkward scribble that just looks like, you know, a child's learning to write is what you want. Use a Sharpie. That's what a felt tip pen is, Baitan Daniil. That's an American thing, Sharpies. As I know it, it might be more than just America, but I've, you know, like, you watch American stuff and, like, they're all going, Sharpies, Sharpies. You're like, what are Sharpies? What are you lot on about? And then you're like, oh, okay. Felt tip pens, got ya. This contraption is cool. And now it gets all the golds. Right, and none of those gold ingots will actually get distributed yet. It's when I come back here and turn the farm on that starts to happen. So next time that I'm over here using this thing, they'll all be, like, stocked up or getting stocked up, basically, for lots and lots of barring. RPG900HM, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. And also with the Prime is Lizzie Beth for 54 months. Excuse me, I had to hold back a burp then. This coffee is giving me some burpy wurps. You know. I'm in the UK and I use Sharpies all the time. WH Smith is just an ad deal. 35 Sharpies for £11.50. Bargain. Maybe there are brands then. A felt tip pen is washable ink to me. Do you know what? I don't use pens a lot, so maybe I'm totally wrong. As you might know, I don't use them hardly ever. Thank you so much, Lizzie. Appreciate it. A good Karen is here with some cheers and biddies, saying, enjoying my Sunday evening dinner with Xisuma. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for the cheers and biddies. Hope you're eating something nice. After, okay, we're heading out of here. Let me check my list, like, did good so far. Fixed the witch farm. Got some sand. Got some gold farm filters fixed. Yes. Yes. So I see what we're going to do next. We'll do a little bit of, one of the reasons I've got sand is so that we can grab some materials for a future project. So, probably get some of those things together. Might need a few more firework rockets, which I also need to craft more of. Dang, look at that. Run out of those quick, didn't we? Must remember to craft some of those when we get back to the base. Whoa, over we go. Yes, I was about to say, oh, dang it, distracted myself. What was I going to talk about? Ah! Flew into that. Yo, X, are you into tattoos at all? I'm an artist in the South UK and I'd love to give you some free tattoo time. Thanks, my dude, I appreciate it. I'm not into tattoos, though. Not my thing. X, what is your opinion on the removal of Discord discriminators? Don't know anything about it, my dude. Don't know anything about it. Forgive my ignorance, but is there a TFC card in the game? I know he won't be able to sign it, but it would be a thing to remember him by. Yeah, his cards are in the game too. Oh yeah, we were talking about signing, weren't we, right? So I was gonna like do a stamp thing, but maybe I will just sign it. I'll have to practice signing and see how I feel, because like signatures tend to look like kind of cool, kind of slick, you know, and mine won't look like that. Mine will look janky, literally janky. I'll tell you what I do need to do. I need to put more bone meal into the smelter, and we're about to use the smelter because I need like 10 stacks of glass. Oh, by the way, I fixed my desaturation issue. It just came back to me as I wandered around here. I found some settings to calibrate the monitor, and I still think I might need to tweak it a little bit more, but like for me looking at this area, it's saturated again, so that's good. I think we'll take 2 shulker boxes. Actually, no, just 1. Otherwise, we're going to spend forever doing crafty stuff. Yeah, we'll go fix something up. I also don't know how I'm going to get to this thing now because it's all tidied up. Like, there's no access to the bit that I want to access. Actually, technically there is. There's this door here. That was clever. Why does this door have to have a drop right behind it? So yeah, where I want to go is like up there. There's no proper way to get here anymore. This is it. Just ender pearl through a gap. That's me and my infrastructure. Okay, these chests right here are for adding extra bone meal into the system, which it needs because yeah, that stuff down there is blinking and that's not good. And this is always easier with a crafting bench because then you can shift click. And here we go again. Oh, here's another area that gets laggy. When I open this up, the game gets a bit laggy. That might improve on my new computer. Maybe you just overestimate everyone else's signature. Plenty of people with janky signatures out there. Yeah, it could just be like a self-negative thing. But, you know, if I just practice, if I give it a little bit of a go, then I can assess what I want to do. Blood Rose says, first time on an Xisuma stream. Well, welcome, welcome. Hope you're enjoying it. We're just doing errands, really. Running around doing the odds and sods. Getting prepped for some future projects. Going to be doing some digging, a little bit of building. A little bit of redstone, all sorts of stuff. X, what's your favourite food inspired by the favourite letter question? I swear you say curry. Curry is my favourite food, yes. And had a Mexican. Last time I streamed I talked about my little scheduled time off. I watched I Am Legend with Will Smith. I don't know why, but I sort of put up something in my head that like, I don't know, like, I don't want to watch those movies or whatever. But I've been rewatching some Will Smith movies and they're great. They're not masterpieces. I think it's because I gravitate to like drama and like big sort of, I don't know, big topical, big scale stuff. Like you forget how to enjoy the simpler stuff, you know. And that I Am Legend is just a simple movie, but really well executed. It's fun. It's like got some action, intensity, a lot of emotion. You know, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it's darn good. And Will Smith's a very likable character on the screen. It's interesting how that works, actually. Like, I don't know if this will continue forever because things tend to change, but in Hollywood, it's like, it's not just like the movie and the role and the story, it's like the actor becomes a big part of that too. So if you want to tell a story, that's one thing, but if you want to sell it and get people into it, then you need one of these like big actor-actress names that draw people in. You know, so it's like the merit of the thing itself is like also then attached to who participates in it, which I find kind of interesting. Because we've all watched plenty of like really amazing movies and you don't know any of the actors in because they're just like, as they say, nobodies, which is like not really a great turn of phrase. How much did I need? 10 stacks, wasn't it? Yeah. chuck this in and grab it in a second. Maybe 10 seconds. This thing is it 64 blocks across, I think? Or 32? Like, if you were to guess, like 10 maybe? Yeah, it looks like 30 to the middle. So it's 64. It must be a stack. That sounds like what I would have done. Man, we're just going like all over the place here because I was gonna say, oh yeah, like curry. I ordered a Mexican. And man, the loaded fries were just gorgeous. The chips, they had nacho cheese on them and sour cream, and it was great. I was like, dang. Everything else was all right, but it was those loaded chips. And today, what I'm cooking for myself, after I finish streaming, I'm gonna go and cook. I made a little something with leftovers the other day, and it was really nice. It was like cheese, potato, and spinach. And so today, what I've got is I've got some of this vegan cheese sauce from when I was a vegetarian. It's really nice. It doesn't taste like cheese, but it's like a cheese sauce. It tastes kind of like a little bit cheesy, but kind of mustardy. I think mustard is its main ingredient. I'm going to have that with some potatoes. Again, I'm going to really like cook them with lots of salt and pepper. That's where the flavour comes from, right? Why do y'all have chips of every cuisine? Says the original geisha. Potato. Did I say chips? I mean, I don't have chips of every cuisine. I rarely have chips. Chips are a treat for me. Anyway. Hey, there we go. There we go. It's done its thing. Baytand Daniel says you said potato. Thanks, I'm not going mad. Is there a way to switch the furnaces to blast using redstone? That would be an amazing project, like detect what's coming in and swap out the type. But you could only do that on Bedrock because you can't move tile entities on this one. Anyway, so I'm going to chop up my potatoes, lots of salt and pepper, put them in the oven for like 30 minutes. They're going to be like potato chunks, right? Got this vegan cheese sauce. Gonna mix. I've forgotten what else I was gonna put in it now. I'm gonna mix in some spinach, like cook up some. I'll probably steam the spinach. I think I haven't done steamed spinach in a while. Sometimes I like to flavour the spinach, cook it in the pan, but I think the flavour's gonna come from the other stuff. Oh yeah, I got some chicken breast. And that's basically it. So like meat, potato, some greens with the spinach, and this vegan cheese sauce. Mix it all together. Right. Don't want to hear those noises. Let's get out of here. What is your opinion on opinions? Those people with their opinions about other people's opinions. My opinion on opinions. Right, let's go to the world of hot takes and the he says, she says, and oh, the opinion on this thing and that thing. Like, be compassionate towards your fellow humans and try and understand other people's perspectives and see things from their side. And like, that's not just like, you know, like when people say listen to other people, like actually really listen. It's so easy to like listen with that kind of yeah but voice in your head all the time, right? Like actually listening to other people and understanding them. That's my opinion on these hot takes and opinions that, you know, people float around all the time. Because the internet just seems to put people in this trap, this sort of habit of like talking about others all the time, those people, and it's like quite discompassionate. And like the more you engage with it, it's easy to buy up into all these ideas and things that they're saying, but often they're saying them when the people they're talking about aren't present and don't have the option to, you know, present their side of things. Where the bones at, homie? Oh, and where the gunpowder at, homie? Can't be forgetting about the gunpowder. And the paper. And the rockets. Am I... Wait, sugarcane. Didn't I, like, farm a bunch of this stuff? I did. I farmed a bunch of... Don't turn it into sugar. I've made that mistake too many times. It's embarrassing. Right, firework rockets. Got a few more now, haven't I? Obviously. Wait a minute, can I make more? I can make more, isn't that delightful? You know, there's a reason I got on water sorter over here, it's so that I can be lazy. Okay, all of that, please. And somehow we're still a little bit shy. Okay, and then in goes the dye. In goes the bones. Is this empty? Good. This will be for our project. Nah, but it's defo true. People are just not allowed to have opinions anymore, says Blixem. Is that your opinion? Is it your opinion that people aren't allowed to have opinions anymore? I think people are allowed to have opinions. Just sometimes if you present your opinions, other people are going to come back with theirs or challenge them. Yeah, okay, right. So I needed a whole bunch of glass for this project. Then the stone I can skip over. Right, that's the aesthetic block. I'll come back to that. That's another one. Oh my gosh. I need 2 stacks of hoppers. Oh, it's crafting time. We on now. We on that craft. Which one's the one that I got like way more of? I think it's this one, so use that up first. But what I meant is that on the internet, if your opinion doesn't line up with someone else's, it isn't allowed, says Blixem. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But don't fall into the trap of thinking that everyone's like that. This is like an exacerbation of the problem, is that when you think the internet is like that, it's just one of these like things where you fall into the trap of the other. Oh, all these other people, they don't agree with my opinion, therefore I'm not allowed to have one. You know? I don't know quite how to describe what I'm thinking, but it's like you should know like where you stand with your own opinions and feelings and thoughts. I'm gonna go steal some iron from Corrales again, I imagine. Actually, no, I think I've got a fair bit in here. Yeah, I got enough to pull us through in here for now. Don't need to take another detour. But yeah, basically, Corrales is like, just use my own farm, because I built one earlier on, and then it's always I'm always short as I do these crazy projects, right? But yeah, if you know your own opinion well and where it comes from, and you can articulate it, like if I put my thoughts and opinions out there a lot, and if I go read my comments, people disagree with me, right? It's easy to think that their disagreement is oh, I'm not allowed that, you know, my opinion. But like, take the best interpretation of what they're saying. They're just presenting their way of seeing it and critiquing yours. And try not to like fall into seeing things so drastically out there, right? Like, be the example. I'm not gonna tell people they're not allowed to have their opinion. And other people out there might. They might be saying, there might be someone saying that, but I don't have to operate on their level. Because I think the thing is, most people are really good and reasonable. And it just takes a few loud voices shouting to give you an impression that there's like a big crowd of people that are into this way or that way. Discussion should be more of a conversation and less of a competition. Yeah, I agree with that too. That's why I said actually listening to other people and learning, and like if you're talking to someone with a different opinion, you want less of that yeah but voice in your head and more of like trying to understand where they're coming from. Winter Cherry, thank you ever so much for 7 months. I appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Thank you. Disagreement is healthy to challenge and reevaluate your own beliefs. Absolutely. And I think that, you know, if someone proves you wrong, being proven wrong is like a form of enlightenment. You know, now you have a better way of seeing things. You know, by being wrong, you learn. Right, we need 2 stacks of observers, and I think my redstone chest is missing observers because I've used so many lately. I could probably do with another half stack of those hoppers, to be fair, so grab that for the observers. Oh, we are running low on supplies over here. How did that happen? I need to basically make 3 stacks, and that's going to be 6 stacks of redstone. Which, again, starting to run a little low on here and there. Yeah, and we want to make this stuff. I like the Command and Conquer music in the background, says Horstonator. Me too, me too. Right. Oh, I placed a torch wrong at my bartering farm. Dang it. Thorgil, thanks for letting me know. I'll have to go check that. We'll head back over there. Please do remind me. I don't want to forget that. Need to get that sorted. Xisuma, been writing lately? Is that something you try to do consistently or when you have the time / inspiration, says Nightshade Owl? In the past, it's been like... Every time I write, I love it. Like, it's so easy to write. But in the past, it has been a bit of like a... Sort of keep the thing going. Like I'm trying to keep getting through my records and sharing my thoughts. Like it's therapeutic. But I've tried to like have a beat, you know, a consistency to it, a pace. And this year, I told myself I'm not doing that anymore. And therefore now, like, I tend to write in spurts, because whenever I get round to writing one, like, then all of a sudden I'm just, like, really feeling it, and then writing lots more. But yeah, I wrote something like a day or 2 ago, and I've just been tied up with the computer stuff. So that's really, like, taken hold. But yeah, I will get back into writing, but I'm just not, like, pressuring myself anymore. So depending on your definition of lately, like, I could say I've been writing a lot, or the last few days not so much. But I'll continue to write. It's a good exercise. X, do you have any fun ideas for builds I should make in my survival world? Can be functional or aesthetic. Oh, I've got loads of ideas for creating both functional and aesthetic stuff. I mean, it's Minecraft, right? It's endless. I'm not going to run out of stuff to do in this game, oh no. Right, those two stacks go over there. Where are we at now? Oh my god, I need tons of powered rail. Hey, gold? Not a problem. Was a problem in the past. Not anymore. Oh yeah, I know where I should store these. It was like, I've been thinking like, where am I going to store my gold? And it's like, in the valuables area. Like, this is where the gold goes. I think I've configured it so that... I'll tell you what, let's go have a look. So we're in line with that. Oh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, gold's in there, that's sorted, okay. I think it's redstone and sticks for powered rails. The internet is like being in a room of thousands of people telling you what they think, he says in the chat. It's enough to drive anyone up the wall, says Sporsk. Yeah, that's kind of what it is though, right? It's the internet. I'm reminded now of another story that I want. So I've listened to a couple of interesting stories, and my brain's doing its usual thing of like, talk about this, talk about that. Let's get all of those sticks out of there now. Well, if we have the room for it. Okay, maybe I did that the wrong way around. What was the old story? It was something to do with a web browser. Oh yeah, so I listened to another Net Diaries podcast. Really enjoying these. Wow, 6 stacks. That'll last us a while, hopefully. And then I need like 2 stacks for this project. So there's this story about someone on GitHub who gets like impersonated and finds out that the impersonator is going to a job interview, pretending to be them, and they're able to like intercept and get involved and tell the employers that, hey, like someone is going to apply for this job as me, but it's not me. Like someone's impersonating me to get this job. The podcast is really great, by the way. So if that sounds like, oh, that's interesting, you want to go look it up and listen to it. It's a really good story. Because he's a storyteller. That's what I've realised about his podcasts. I've been enjoying stories lately. And sometimes it's like the art of telling a story goes a long way. Some of the other stories I've listened to, there's been details about it where it's like, you could have mentioned that earlier. But like, it works better for the story to just not. Anyway. So like, spoiler alert to kind of cut through it all and get to the point. It's really interesting that there's impersonation that goes on in the world of like coding and people creating computer code and programming, etc. Where there are like teams of developers from developing countries, like places like India, where it's harder for them to get employment because they're like new and fresh and they're a group of people and they don't have like a long history of experience with programming to get like a job. But because a lot of programming takes place online over the internet, they then pretend to be an actual established programmer, you know, so they'll take a job, they'll earn a salary, but then they'll just be like splitting it up amongst their team, right? I just found that so fascinating, like the dynamics of that the situation, the way things have unfolded has made it so like there isn't obviously equal opportunity here, and that they have to pretend to be someone else to get employment as an individual in one place to then earn a salary for a group of people in another place. Just, you know. X, have you listened to the Xbox Underground episode? One of the better ones, says Diablo Gnosis. That's my favourite one, that 2-parter. That's the best one I've listened to so far. That and one about a guy who sold drugs on the deep web and like went into great detail about how his operation worked and how he could get the drugs past sniffer dogs and things like that. I was like, whoa, this is just like incredible that you can have access to this kind of information and hear this story. European Prospect, thank you ever so much for using the Amazon Prime and subscribing. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Right, powered rails be done. Oh wow, we need crazy amounts of lava for this project. Jeez. And a whole bunch of composters. Let's quickly make the composters. And then go and fish up some lava. We're going to need like several boxes. Oh, I might have overdone this. I might have just absolutely overkilled this. Oh well, it's basically free. You should have seen, when you see the next episode of Hermitcraft, just remember this. X saying, you should have seen how much oak wood I had. I think I had like 10 double chests of oak wood. Look, I've still got some left over. Oh, this is spoilers now. Oh, I'm never going to watch an episode again because that one time you spoiled it. Yeah, look at this. All of that, like all of that's still full of oak. It went all the way up here. And, yeah, like oak wood is very easy to farm in mass quantity. Let's go stock up the redstone. Right, maxed out there. And how many did I need? Oh wait, just over a stack actually, so I'll probably get the rest from my redstone project box. Perfectly Sane Lunatic. What a perfectly sane name, I guess. Thank you for subscribing, appreciate it. Excuse me, burps. Right, I could do with some repeaters and some dust, and oh my god, I need so many dispensers. dust. We'll make up some repeaters. 1, 2, 3. I mean, we are doing redstone on another level this season. I can't remember the last time we was crafting up this much stuff. Right, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. I think what I might do is come back to this because I've got the thing on my mind. We need to go back to the gold farm, right? But we also need to go into the Nether for some lava. So we'll do those things at the same time. All right, just running through the rest of these materials here. Okay, yeah. Right, let's go do the lava bucket. I need 80 plus, so shulker boxes 29. I think basically fill up 3 shulker boxes. Maybe just fill up a 4th for the sake of it. I might also have some stashes of buckets and other things back here. Yeah, look, there you go. Some lava buckets here. Empty buckets, I was thinking. There's one. We'll get another 3, I think. A Nightshade Owl says, Xisuma, I've just remembered, and I regret it's taken this long, but you mentioned the Cannibal Corpse Radio Disney covers a while back, and I've got most of a report written up on the listening experience. Is there still interest in that? Yeah. Tell me what you thought of it. Like, did listening to the Disney radio help you get into the Cannibal Corpse? That's what I need to know. Because that is hilarious to me. Because you can hear the same music, you can hear the notes, you can hear what they're doing. That one's funny because the guy's like, something inside me, it's coming out. I feel like killing you. Yeah, great lyrics. Right, that's like 40 something there. 40 something buckets, mate. Ugh. This bit of the music always makes me think of like GoldenEye 64. Joel Sabs, thank you ever so much for 2 months with the Amazon Prime. Appreciate you subscribing, my dude. Did I read it out already? Gosh, sometimes I look at, I think I hear a noise and I look over and then it's like 3 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I might have read that one. Right, that's like 64, 70. Yeah, we'll have enough with that many, won't we? Or I could go 30, 90. Yeah, no, let's get like another 20, I guess. Then the next time I have to do this, I don't have to worry about it. Wow, I think I just got 40 extra. Great. You know, I think I might be wise to go take a trip to Corrales and pick up some more iron. So, Nether for lava. Which I always like to... Do you know what? I've got netherite gear on. I'll be alright. Yeah. Lava, gold farm, Corrales. That's the next bunch of errands. Wow, your singing matched perfectly to a song I was playing in the background. It was like an odd mashup. That can happen sometimes, yeah. Yeah. Right. So we'll go to a lava lake. Does anyone out there listen to the Waveform podcast? You know, I've been around for a few years now, and there's some stories that I've like heard about over and over again. I always just find it like I'm always reminded of how much stuff there is to know about, and like. When you're young, you don't know all of these stories and stuff, and so their episode was on the formation of the internet, and I've heard that story told so many times. It's just kind of like fascinating to hear it again each and every time. But the first time I heard it, right, I heard that like a British guy invented the internet. And then in subsequent stories, I've heard it sort of attributed to different people and different countries, right? Well, mainly it's either someone attribute it to the UK or America. But I think I've kind of sussed out like what it is that there's so many like different pieces of information and technology that have to come together that you can probably say the internet started or began at different points in time by different people based on where you surmise it begins. And I think if I remember it correctly, it's the guy who kind of coined the World Wide Web, who was British. And for a lot of people, the internet kind of starts with the World Wide Web. So like you can see how it gets attributed in that way. I don't know. It just fascinates me that there's all this stuff out there to know about, and you just get reminded of like how as time goes by, you just learn more and more and more. But then you just see like a bunch of young people learning about some stuff you thought everyone knows this story, right? No, not everyone does. Yeah, it was a really cool podcast. I totally recommend it if you want some history on how the internet came to be. It was good. It was like had a lot of the technical stuff in it, and it started at the end. It went to a place I hadn't actually heard talked about much, which was sort of like the ideas and the infrastructure for creating a internet that extends, you know, a interplanetary internet essentially, and some of the problems that you face with that, because you know the internet seems sort of instant, but the information travels at the speed of light at best, and so the speed of light between planets, you know, if you want to communicate with someone on Mars, you might have to wait. Like, it might not be that instant. You might send a message and have to wait 5 minutes for a reply. Nightmare, the Axolotl, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription. Greatly appreciated, my dude. Thank you for supporting the channel. Oh, there we go. It was Bell Labs and Bellacom that pulled the first transatlantic cable. Yeah, okay, so like US and Belgium there. So yeah, like I've heard stories where like other places or whatever attributed to it. And so, yeah, if you define it by laying the first Atlantic cables, then it's like, well, then these people are supposedly the creators. But like a lot of things, it's not simple, it's complex. Right, so apparently I missed something here. Yeah, something looks a little odd, right? Like, that, it's just that one. I think it's just the one that's in, yeah, like, just one of them. Now, I was thinking that's going to be like a real pain to fix, but actually, I think there's a relatively quick way to fix it. What texture pack do you use to raise your hotbar? A texture pack can't raise your hotbar because all a texture pack does is change textures. I got a mod and it's called Raised, and it raises the hotbar. You know, great name for it. You know, very direct, to the point. Fix! Thank you so much for pointing that out, 4Gil. Really appreciated. Oh, do you know what? I could have done that at the end of the stream, because I could have come back here in AFK after. That's just how it goes, though, right? Right, Corrales is next. Whoever came up with that name should get a raise. I don't know what name we're talking about. Oh, raised! Right. They should get a raise. Ah! Ah! Oh, look at you. Oh, so funny. Is there a certain amount of chests you should have when starting? Starting what? Right, up here. And Papa K. Did we go past Papa K? I think we might have gone past Papa K. That's Hypno. We need to hook Corrales up with a tunnel, maybe. He could probably raise that portal up to this height very easily, and it would still sink. So he could probably have a nice old tunnel. X, is the character render mod you use open to the public download? Yes, yeah. It is. I've been asked that, like, a couple of times, I think. Let's just take 2 stacks, that'll do. There we go. Yeah, I've probably got enough to get by, but I don't want to be caught out, so just have a little extra for now. Is that powdered snow at the bottom not to take full damage? I have no idea, because I don't know where this powdered snow was. Cameron, thanks for coming by today. I'll still be here in half hour, that's for sure. And Prism, welcome to the stream. Other people in chat are saying this. It is. I'm assuming they're referring to powder snow. Right. Those were the 3 things that we needed to do next. So now we go craft. A few more things. One of them is dispensers, which is always crazy to me. What is it called exactly? It's because none of us can find it to download. I couldn't see it on your mod list. Oh, right. Maybe it's not public then. I don't know. Assumed it was. I mean, no, it must be, because I'm able to download it. Yeah, no, it's out there somewhere. It's on my mod list, so... I don't know, keep trying. Yeah. Don't know how it wouldn't be. Oops. My stomach still clenches whenever I watch a hermit just jump down the world to the end ball. Alright, yeah, you get that kind of knee-jerk reaction, right? Oops, that's the wrong way around. Right, so I need... Is it 3 boxes of lava for this project? And then everything else can go back into here. And then we got to craft dispensers. Corrales says his base is junky, but really it's magnificent. I think he might be referring to the theme, right? Like it's like a shantytown kind of vibe. Right, so we need string. Ugh. How could we be so low? Dang it, you know, like I was just over there at the place where all the string is. Let's just stock up on some shulker boxes. Or make some shulker boxes. What's the state of all of these ones like? Right, I'm going to leave this in here for now. Are any of these almost empty? Take that one. Although it says bone. Don't really want to put string in one that says bone. That would be confusing. Well, I guess I'm crafting some more. Also, I really want to change the color of this box and the color of the wheat one. Like, I really want them to stand out from the regulars. Let's go magenta, maybe pink. Isn't there? Purple will be the other one. And then for the wheat, probably yellow. Dang. Got no yellow dye. Alright, I'm going to pinch these. That one I might also change to, like, have packed mud on it or something. Right, this one, which looks better. Purple looks good. A little too vibrant. Yeah, no, purple's the vibe. Purple's the vibe there. Got that end dimension, yellow and purple going on here. Oh, put them in the wrong place, X. Right, those can go, well, one of them can go back, the other one. 1, 2, 3. Let's get 4 shulker boxes of string. What else do I need, by the way, before I make more trips back and forth? Dispensers. Piston, sticky piston comparator. We'll be okay, we'll be okay. Yeah. That's my TNT stash. Off we go again. Degree and pay you properly for the shulker boxes. No, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just glad someone took them, really. Put them to use, you know. Is that a shulker monster forming? Watch out before pearls find you. I believe that is an entirely acceptable shulker monster, as it's literally in the storage area. It's my storage place. It's where I put my shulker boxes. You can't call it a monster, although it does look kind of monstery. This way, to get to our now defunct farm. By the way, we've got 1,000 peeps tuning in today. Thank you everyone for coming by. Be sure to hit the follow button here on Twitch if you're enjoying yourself. Might not be streaming for a few days. I don't know. Computer upgrades, switching over, all that stuff. What I'm thinking is there's only like a tiny bit more I can do now. And then, you know, I'll do as much as I can. And then I have to do the big switch where you transfer all the data. You know, transfer all your settings. I had a good idea for transferring settings though. I used to take loads and loads of screenshots, and I just kind of realized I could probably just take a video, right? Do a video of going through all the menus, and then you can just like pause the video on the other end. So much easier than taking and saving screenshot after screenshot, right? So I might give that a try as a means to get stuff done. So yeah, might not be streaming as much in the next few days, but you know, whenever things settle down, I'll be getting back into it. Because I do like to be consistent here on Twitch. And there you go, all the string, right? All of it? All of it ever. Hey, Carl's Doom is gifting a sub to Skyfighter. Thank you for gifting the sub, Curls. Appreciate you supporting our community. I pressed the wrong button. I've moved my Steam Deck closer to my keyboard because I was like, why do I have it all the way back over there? Like, I have to reach. And I was like, it should be right here. But now, I've pushed my arm out to go reach to it when it's right in front of me. Oh dear, y'all just got some free derp coin right there. Assuming, do you have any suggestions as to how to start a Twitch channel similar to yours? Yeah, just go to sign up for Twitch. Just sign up and start streaming. Don't overthink it. Just start streaming and learning. Not sure what to do? Do something. Not nothing. How can you color the name of your tools? We have a data pack that allows us to do that. King Regnog says the best way to do streaming is to literally just do it. That's it. That's it. Don't overthink it. Whatever you like, don't even think, oh, I need this, I need that. You know, whatever you can use to start streaming, just start and learn. You know, one of the things I've noticed that a lot of streamers do, for example, is they create a lot of like elaborate setups for like the information on the screen and transitions. and all sorts of things. And it's like, for me, that's never really appealed to me as both like a viewer and a creator. I think I just need to hold on to 3 right now. There you go. It's never appealed to me from those perspectives. But also, I personally don't think a lot of value comes from it either. So look at my stream. It's so simple. It's just like a few bits of text, a timer. You know, the core of the content is me in the game. So you don't even need all of that stuff. Just start streaming. If you get to a point where you're like, I want to do this, and now I want to put someone's name on the screen, then figure that out when the time comes. But yeah, like, right, we need more cobble again. Finally caught another stream. How y'all? Says Wiltings. I am good. Thanks for asking. Welcome back to another live stream. X, what did you use to animate your stream clips? Did you use something like Blender? The Puka does my stream clips, and I think Puka uses Blender. Here we go. Where I've been doing some like cleaning up of my data, getting it ready to migrate to the new system. I came across, so I've been sorting out all my portable apps and updating them and stuff, and like a bunch of apps now have dark mode, which is fantastic. Like moving more stuff onto dark mode is cool. Then I found this folder, well not I say found, I knew it was there, I just forgot about it, but like I have a bunch of games that are portable as well, stuff that just like, you know, it's free, you download it, and then it just runs out of the folder. I found all these like old quirky games that I've played over the years. Some of them are actually streamed and made videos, like Right Click to Necro Dance, I think is a video on my main channel that's on there. That's a good one. Oh, what am I doing? I should just put it into this place, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I found one that I used to play when I was in school, like 2002, 2003. We had like Windows XP, which was a great, like the look of Windows XP was great. You know, that old green button and the blue bar, and the red cross is like really fond of that vibrant aesthetic. And we used to play this game in a web browser. This was a thing, right? There was a time where on computers you could go to a website and play these flash games in your browser. And there was one called Trials, and it was based on a particular type of sport known as trial biking, which is like a motorbike, but instead of racing, you like try to get over an obstacle course as quick as you can. And the way it had been turned into a game was absolutely brilliant. You needed 3 buttons to play. Actually 4. You had up for accelerate, down to brake, and left and right would sort of position your rider leaning backwards or forwards, and you had this side-on view of it. And you would go through this obstacle course. And it was endlessly fun because it was like a little balancing physics game where you had to try and maneuver your rider through this terrain and like get the balance right, because you know, if you flip the bike over then it's game over. And they had these elaborate obstacle courses, and there were some additions of the game where you could like make your own levels. And you know what, I think if I remember correctly, you had like the original, and then they had some like buffed up paid editions, and then someone like brought the game and made a number 2 which was not very popular, and then that game has just, I think, gone away. So after today's stream I am going to research Trials and just see if anyone ever picked it up or took it further. So that might be a fun game to like revisit. Wait, Flash games don't exist anymore, says Spefik. Not really. Like the internet has rallied around getting rid of Flash, basically. Yeah, it's like pretty redundant to use that Flash these days. You'd probably have to like download something to unblock it from your system. Sounds like an old version of Happy Wheels. Yeah, there's probably some similarities to something like Happy Wheels, but it's a skill game, and it's really addictive. It's there's just this constant gratification of like you maneuvering the bike. It feels really nice to just go over the simplest of like ramps, but then there's this really tricky stuff where you have to do big jumps and get your balance just right, and that stuff is gratifying too. It's such a cool game. Right, now we need like a stack of pistons, stack of sticky pistons, and then the redstone comparators, and we're good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, me and my mate in class used to like play that. We'd always have like work, but we'd like alt and tab to the game, and it's just so much fun. Oh, pistons. Wait, pistons is not 3, it's 4. Oh gosh, where's the cobble? Lost it again. Wait, was it in this one? There you go. So I need that much. Then we need some wood from over here. That's 4 stacks. 6 is what we need in total. I'm glad I went and got that iron, actually. I need more of it again. This one? That should be enough. Right, so that should make me... Am I missing something? Oh, redstone. Yeah, 2 stacks of piston. And then 1 stack of sticky piston. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, wait. Just 1. I know my recipe speaks. 1, 2, 3. And then we need some quartz. And that's everything. So this other stuff now can get put back. Where are we at? Comparators? Oh, make the torches first. Nice. Cool, and that is our redstone stash for a future project involving tons of lava and all of those materials. Carl's gifting a sub to an expert for 9 months. That's a Twitch baby right there. Thank you so much for gifting the sub, Carls. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream, and an expert, be sure to say thanks in the chat. Sorry for lurking. Question: how would I kick the gears up on a server inspired by Hermitcraft? We have it since season 2. The activity is super low on start of a new season. People are active, but when I ask, they said they have nothing to do. What would be your advice, X? Lead by example. Create things for them to do. You know, be the activity and encourage other people to come and partake on it. Octodrop token. X, do you collect any merch? Says Duzlo. No, I'm a minimalist. I don't collect merchandise. I don't really, not really interested in that kind of stuff at all. Like clothes are very functional for me. Right, so next on my list, you know, there's a little bit more redstone I need to do or want to do, but I think what we should do is dig out some more of that tunnel that we were working on. King Regnog says running SMPs is difficult, but making events and inspiring base building helps a lot. Yes, inspire one another, lead by example. You know, if there's nothing to do, create something for people to do. You know, create a card game. Pro tip. That'll get people interested. Oh yeah, we had the redstone to do over here as well. Well, we've got lots to do with this area now. Continuing to prepare it for future projects. You'll notice on streams that I tend to do just a lot of like prep for big project stuff. I say it a lot, like next season this, next season that. I really mean it, where I think season 10 there has to be some drastic changes. Like the scale I'm going to play on next time is going to be very different. I'm going to really try and stick to that and be like, hey, let's actually make this one something different. And what I want to achieve is like spending time detailing an area as opposed to constantly doing... Hang on, I'm confusing myself here. Like, wait, the shape... Has the shape changed? You got like 1, 2, 3, the ceiling's there. Oh, no, I guess... No, I got it right. You just need to lower this, and then it'll look... Yeah, that's the way. Okay. So, no, alright with this. Anyway, I got a question for you, old chap. Okay. Can I make a cup of tea right now? Can I go make a tea? Would that be okay? Would y'all stick around? What I'll do is I'll boil the kettle and then come back up. But would it be too bad to ask? Peeps are saying yes. I'll allow it, says Ursula. Ursula, thank you for letting me. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me. You know. I'm going to mute the microphone when I jump down. I'm not going to put the be right... I could put the be right back screen on. I'll be right back, because I'm making a cup of tea, right? Where is that button that does that thing? There it is. There's that button that does that thing. GG. Yeah. Alright, I'll boil the kettle and I'll be right back up. Here's a thought. I was saying like next season this, next season that. But actually maybe this season, because I'll let you in on... Oh, fell down. I'll let you in on a little secret. I think I want to wrap up my base and start something new. Like I was thinking of like another base, or maybe going a little season 6 and going kind of nomadic. Right? And going around and doing odd jobs, I say, you know. Odd builds. Yeah, it looks weird on this side because this should all be filled in, and then that would drop down too, wouldn't it? You'd see this here. Yeah, so then I would have all this infrastructure to really just focus on something different. Resources aren't much of a problem, and I reminded myself of something important, which is that I wanted to get more cobble. We just tore for an absolute ton of cobble, so let's switch over to this pick. And dig with this. Maybe replace a little here and there just to keep it kind of tidy, right? And the kettle's boiled, by the way. So, again, I guess I'll be right back. Guess who's back? Back again. That's a very quick kettle, says Ursula. Well, depends on how much water is in the kettle, for one. And, you know, the water was already warm because it was boiled an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes ago. So there are other mitigating factors there. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't got the cup of tea. You gotta let it stand for a little bit, let it brew, right? The alarm's gonna go off. And I'm gonna have to go again. Oh gosh, how many be right back screens are we gonna have today? It's gonna be a meme. Right, that's enough for in my face. That's enough for me to know. For me to know and for you to find out. Right, and then somewhere, yeah, somewhere just over there, there's another drop down bit. How about a smart kettle which you can just activate from your office? Then you can just have to go once. I kind of like moving about. It's nice to. It's actually God. Now saying that out loud just makes me check in with my body, and I'm like, oh my god! Like just going up and down the stairs a couple of times, and now I just feel so much more loose. Just been standing like this for so long. Right, so about here we'll drop down again. Like it's not precise, but it gives me something to work with, you know. So it's like there. Yeah, that'll do. Looks about right. Oh my god, apparently I've left the Be Right Back screen on. Yeesh! Thank you, 4Gil. Wait, Coles, why didn't you say that? Talking about this smart kettle. Was I like not saying anything about in-game for a moment there, and then because I started mentioning about something in-game, it was like, oh wait a minute, he's left it on. I think that's how that works, right? Okay, who's the real derp? You know, were you just sitting there watching me play a game while you couldn't see the game? I mean, jeez. Oh, there goes the alarm. Right, I better put the Be Right Back screen on. And then forget to turn it off. Oh. And I'm back. I'm here. Have no fear. Oh, right. Thank you for the webbers in chat. Appreciate it. Hey, 17 is lucky. Thank you for 6 months. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Right, what are we to talk about next, chat? What's happening in the world? What's that thing that everyone's talking about? What type of tea did you make? I made one with water and milk. The water was hot, by the way. I know that because I put my hand in it and it burned it. I feel sad now. This may sound dumb, but what is strip mining, says Craft Time. Strip mining is... let me think. Right, branch mining is not strip mining. So branch mining is when you go in like a straight line, but then you make little branches off to the side. Strip mining is when you strip out an area. So it might be like a single tunnel or a wide tunnel, but essentially when you are just like mining in the same direction and just digging out a lot of the same space. So like branch mining is more effective for finding diamonds, for example, because when you break blocks, you expose new ones. So like I have exposed 1 new block. Now I've exposed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So when you spend your time like this, falling down, that was great. That was there. So when you dig like this, like look at how many new blocks you reveal, right? As you break away the ones to the side of them, you start to reveal less and less for the amount of time you're breaking blocks. There's a great video about this made by some person on the internet, on some channel that I've heard of. You know, might be worth a watch. Yeah, I'm referring to my how to find the diamonds video. I love that. That's a classic bit of myth busting. I really enjoyed like looking at the game that way and just realizing, you know, like what block you choose to break does actually like reveal a different amount of blocks, and therefore there is going to be some sort of most efficient thing to go after, I guess. Why did I not? I feel like I just walked into a bunch of blocks and didn't pick them up. Do you have an education, says Hedena Transef. Not a good one. I'm probably more self-educated in terms of the skills that I use. Absolutely, now that I think about it. You know... Well, actually, as I say it out loud, I realise this doesn't maybe apply, but like... I have a vocation in, like, business. Like a post-GCSE thing that I did. And, you know, technically what I do is, like, running a business or whatever. I don't know. Because I have a business in order to do what I do this for a living. Probably doesn't really translate, but absolutely nothing I ever learned in that business lesson or, like, course ever translated to anything I did here. But, you know, it's a different type of business, really. That's what I was thinking. As I say it out loud, you know. I'm kind of like, well, you know, this is actually quite different, isn't it? Yeah, what I remember of the course is it just felt like it was more like, this is how you open up Microsoft Word and create a title, and this is how you make a spreadsheet, and this program makes databases, and our teacher lost all of our coursework one year and we all failed. Which was just ridiculous. This song reminds me of Red Alert 2. Oh, it's because it's from Red Alert 1. Do you think your formal education improves your problem-solving skills? No. My issue with like the education that I had, like, I'm not the same person I was when I was in school, right? And it just seemed like all the other stuff at that age and whatnot made school awful. And I can understand why school is the way it is. It needs to be standardized, and it, you know, you need a way of understanding if the schools have like taught people stuff, which is why you have tests, but then they end up teaching you to memorize facts for tests, you know. Like, I think the best way to teach is to work with people to sort of increase their autonomy and their ability to think critically and interact with information. And it's the less definable concepts that are more useful. Like, knowing facts is one thing, and it probably has its time and place, but it's all the other bits. It's like, how do you put things together? And a lot of that is, in one way, it's a creative endeavor. Like, it's easy to look at building in Minecraft as being creative, and it's easy to look at Redstone as being creative in a way too, right? But Redstone is more problem solving, and I think problem solving is a creative endeavor because problems usually require creativity to find a solution. And a lot of life is just solving little problems, right, over and over again. And I don't think school has an experience that gives you the sort of skills to do that, right? It's much more of a fact learning kind of thing. You know, basic maths and learning language skills and whatnot is obviously incredibly valuable. Probably like quite fundamental, so you take them for advantage. But then beyond that, it's, I don't know. Where's the other stuff? Right. Hot cup of tea, right? In the middle of a stream. What does that mean? But doesn't it also depend on what you're studying, says this Mark. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, studying is hang on, let me read this one from Pesky Bird. School honestly makes me feel so miserable. It's really like a toll on mental health, and oh dang it, that one's scrolling off the screen. I think if I read the rest of your message, I had a very similar experience with school. School, like, basically ruined my mind. Like, just, it was so awful what I went through. Lost any like hope or ambition, or you know, like, you know, didn't look forward to anything. Some good tea. And it definitely gave me like a lot of anxiety issues. Oops, wrong button again. And they've been hard to overcome over the years. Never quite sure what to say in terms of advice, but school doesn't last forever, and the outside world is a lot different from school. Those were two things that I wish I'd really have maybe thought about more, because when I got out of school, it kind of got worse. Like, things got worse because I kept thinking that, like, the rest of life was like school, and it just isn't. And Kithara says, I've got to admit, I did like school and the university years. I like learning and being taught stuff. That's terrific. Yeah, I mean, if it works for you, that's great. I'm just talking about my experiences with school and why I think it didn't work for me. If it works for you, that's terrific. I love learning too. Like, it's just my type of learning's perhaps a little less practical, less applied, and is just more curiosity driven. Always watching my edutainment and video essays and all those kind of things, like learning about stuff that's going on in the world and perspectives, as well as history and I don't know. But yeah, learning's fascinating. You want to go through life and always be able to like learn new skills and whatnot, right? For me, the thing I'm trying to learn at the moment is a little bit of programming. I've been writing down a few ideas where it's like, oh, that could be a programming thing, right? Like, I'm looking at problems and then just seeing if there are solutions through programming. And I can't wait to get started. It's arrived right in the middle of transitioning to this new computer, so I haven't had much time to give it a go. I did, however, I got the opportunity the other day to open up auto hotkeys, the scripts. Sorry, I say auto hotkeys. The auto clicker that I published quite a few years ago now, and the code, like, I was struggling to like figure out where I needed to put my code in it to get it to work. But when I get there, like, then all of a sudden it's just going to sort of, I don't know, just make all the other little ideas so much easier once I get over that hurdle. But I also had a little look. I was then thinking about ways in which to put the information into the code that I wanted to, and I realized, wait a minute, if you had like a settings file, then this makes setting up this app for anyone way easier. So I think what it's going to turn into is like it's going to be like a hotkey tool, right? So I have this. Oh no, I don't have it because it's not in. Yes, okay, right. It's not in 1.19.4 yet. Anyway, I had an app that a mod that very slightly helps you with this problem. Hello, that didn't work. Like endless hotkeys for stuff you want to quickly change. So like, I'm gonna have an external app with buttons where I can just press show beacon range, and then it will push the hotkey that I assign into the game. So then I'm gonna have those buttons be variables from a settings file, where it's going to be like button 1 name, and you put in your own name, and then combo, put in your own combo. It's going to be cool. If someone was able to recreate cube control for the latest version of Minecraft, would you give them permission for them to do so? I don't think they really need permission unless they want to publish it on Realms or something. I'd much rather work with someone to create. Well, Cube Control 2 is very close to being complete. At this point, it'd be Cube Control 3. Because I got some ideas for how that game should be. Some good tea right here, some good tea. Nice and hot. That's the first time ever I think I've made a midstream tea, apart from perhaps when doing Twitch Rivals. Twitch Rivals might be the one other time I've had a midstream tea. This is going to be slow. Can I like stand back here just to get a little bit of beacon boost? Beacon boost! Yes, I can. That is the way to do it. And to be overly excited about getting beacon boost, I mean haste. I was watching back on those cube control videos and I saw a small part about cube control too, and it made me very interesting. I'd love to try it for the newest versions if you're okay with it, says Cosmo the Fox. I mean, like, I'm not ever gonna stop anyone from doing something they want to do based off of my map or whatever. But if you're like a proper map dev with a track record and you know what you're doing, I would say like reach out, because I would rather work with someone to like help turn that into the game I want it to be, as opposed to just let someone kind of do their own thing, right? Well, unless you just want to do your own thing with the idea, of course. How far back are we going here? Not much further. Yeah, one of the other maps that I'm really fond of is Point Runner. That was such a great idea. So simple and effective. Gonna be fun to make some new maps for that. One of the problems I think it has is that it's a little bit limited in its like flat layout style. feel like I'm messing this all up here. Just left some extra blocks in, I think. Cool, with that done, I think we can call that done, right? Oh, is there one more section? No, there's not. That's it, okay. So that's like the top area of all this. Now what I want to do, I think, is build up this, which is why if we look in this box, you'll see that I have these 2 blocks. Oh, I've left my shulker box up there, haven't I? I'm not an experienced map maker, to be honest, but I do have a lot of ideas I think you'd like for Cube Control too. If you don't have experience in making maps, I'd say just have fun doing your own thing with the idea, add in your own ideas, you know. As long as you attribute the game right, whatever, I'm cool with it. But the reason I say work with experienced map makers is because over the years I've worked with people who are inspired, infused, are going to learn how to do it, and you know, it generally takes a long time to learn how to properly make maps. Haste potions would be a nice addition. Yeah, maybe. There's this thing that I think can devalue certain stuff in the game, which is where you have one thing and then you like apply it to everything. You know, like it's kind of cool that maybe some effects only work on certain things sometimes. Like when you make things just kind of work everywhere all the time, you lose something a little bit, I think. My brain is trying to like stretch for a good example, but I don't have one right now. I mean, you know, if you had haste potions and you could make a mass brewer, you might stop setting up beacons everywhere, right? Like beacons might become a little bit more redundant, that kind of thing. What did you say? Etho made his battle bane in record time. I didn't mention Etho's map. What I was getting at is that anyone can shoot you an email and go, "Oh, I want to help you do this," but it's like, well, because I've had loads of people reach out to me over time and say, "Hey, I want to help you with this," and sometimes the people that are reaching out, they don't actually know what they're doing; they just want to help, and it's important to make that distinction because I've wasted a lot of time working with people that, you know, are gonna like help me do something, and then it turns out they just don't have a clue. So like, if I'm interested in like making Cube Control 3 or 2 or whatever I'll call it, like I'm only gonna do that with someone with like a proven track record. Right, I need to go back to the Redstone world. So look at this over here. Yeah, this is... Oh, the way I've done it here means we need a ton more stems, doesn't it? So we're going to have like the floor, the block, the wall. Just trying to see it more in my mind's eye so we don't have to keep going back and forth. I kind of wonder if like that would have looked nicer. Nah, probably not, because you got that bit coming across. Then again, that doesn't have to be like that. There are no rules when placing blocks. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that. So, that must be a huge cup of tea or very strong, says Duslow. Thanks for the reminder, dude. Nah, it's a regular sized cup of tea. Maybe a little larger. There's like these little dinky cup size. Dinky cup. I'm making it sound ridiculously small now. I don't know what the standard sizes are, but I noticed some people's cups of tea are, I've got a few, I've got cups of different sizes, right? And what I'm having right now is what I would say is just a standard cup, right? But a lot of people serve cups, tea in these ones that are slightly smaller, and I never feel like it's enough tea. But then I also have like some ridiculously big tea or coffee mugs for whenever I want, you know, a big gulp. Need a teacup the size of the kettle. That's too much tea. Cerulean says 100 to 250 milliliters. That is dinky. That is ridiculously little. Now you've made me realise that I know the rough measurement. So the one I have probably filled to the top right now is about 400 mil, and the smaller ones are probably about 300 mil. So for me, 400 milliliters, just about right, really. I've got some that can do like 450, 500. But the smaller ones are about 300, and they always just feel like it wasn't even worth it. I kind of wanted to keep this top area up here and like build this thing from the top down, but I guess I can kind of keep parts of it, right? Like, just need to figure this out. Because it's going to be, like, the floor is going to be here. Then you're going to have that lip. Oh! Kind of looks like I measured it out wrong then, because you have the lip, and then you would... Wait. I did get it right, just up top. So these blocks are replaced with other blocks. Right. Yeah, okay. I understand. That's not the way it was in the world, was it? No. Because the wall is... Right, the wall is here. See, I really need to visualize it better in order to know where we're going. So that block wouldn't actually be there, would it? Wouldn't be seeing that. Okay, so coming into this space, need to get rid of more of this, really. I think I've built that ceiling area way too high. Way too high. Let's go back to the other world and count. That's ridiculously high now. I think I wanted to like up it from here by 1 or 2 blocks. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 or 8. And that, wait, let's always double. I always like question myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the wall is 5 blocks, and we might go as high as 7 or 8, and that's from above there. So 5 blocks. 5 blocks, right? Like, here we go. Let's use these ones to help us count. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what we saw. 1. You know, I wanted to add 2. I counted it correctly, apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only added 2, and I was thinking there's maybe as much as 8. So I counted it correctly. Well, I think what I'll do then is add 2 onto that. And then, come across on top. Ah! Placing blocks. Life is hard. Life is hard for a Minecraft YouTuber. I'm trying to place these blocks. Hey, noise in the eardrum. Because the eardrum is the place where you hear the noise. It all makes sense. It's connected. It's connected, peeps. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Another noise. Negomir99, thank you ever so much for your 3 months of support. And Busto Blanco, thank you for using the Amazon Prime subscription. Thank you for your support, peeps. It is always appreciated. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday morning, hanging out with me. Thank you for spending your time with me. Feel free to hit that follow button if you want to catch future streams. And thank you as always. It's a pleasure to be here. Haven't slept in a little under 24 hours. Gonna go run. It was good seeing you, X. Bang! A run and then sleep, by the sounds of it, I hope. Yeah, enjoy your run, man. Enjoy your run. Yeah, I'm going to be standing, like, here, 1 block higher. I think it'll work, actually. I think that'll work. That's cool. That's cool. I'm happy now, because, like, yeah, we sussed it out. This is where these blocks go. And I guess back here it's a similar thing. So I've kept them the same height. They're going to be 1 block lower. So this would be the same height as what's over here. So no tricky business there. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, they break quick. 6, 7. So I need 6 more blocks here. Ah! Ah! The world is attacking me. Sometimes I feel like the comments are a separate entity than the video itself, distracting but entertaining at the same time. Yeah, they are. The comments are like another layer of what goes on here, right? For some people, like, they're here for chat as much as the stream, or maybe chat even more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, hang on. Oh, let's do it from the other side. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, sometimes you say the number before you place the block. That's the problem. So that's where those ones go. Now that we've got the number, we can make it happen. Ooh, I'm going to run out, aren't I? I'm going to run out. I'm going to allow this. Okay, let's get more of these. Wait, wrong way around. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then across. Oh yeah, now we've got to place those other blocks behind them too. Where did I place those? Yeah, they went down to that level. It wouldn't be... I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there. I'll just continue placing it. Because we've got to step down. We've got to probably put in some slabs or something. I love seeing familiar names in chat and getting to know people. It's definitely part of the stream watching experience for me, says Everstu. That's awesome. That's cool. Alright. Ooh, this one was not placed, it would seem. Oh, right there, right in my face. I would like to see Mojang make the game harder, says Aki Run. I don't think... oh my god, I've got something to talk about now. I don't think you will. I think that, you know, they want to aim the game at like a broad audience. Yeah, I got something to talk about. Okay. And I always prefer talking about this stuff on stream. But there is another wave of Mojang, Microsoft controversy drama around this game again, coming your way. Okay, and here's how I feel. I want to see this community getting along. I want to see us having a good time. But there are these vibes that seem to continuously come through the community that are not healthy, right? And as being someone who wants to try and like mend that, I guess that's my desire, right? That's my thing. I don't like seeing it. I wish we could get along better and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think in the past I've sort of put my neck out in a way that wasn't really well thought through because of that. So, good thing to do is just to make it really clear, first of all, where you're coming from. That's where I'm coming from. I want to see us all get along. And I feel like there are people in the community that use information to sort of stoke the flames a little, right? Stir the fires. Stir up the drama. Maybe they're doing that intentionally, or maybe it's just like their mindset. You know, continuously seeing what Mojang do as being terrible or something like this. And Microsoft as well, by extension. So it feels like there's like a sort of, I don't know, a thing that's going on where if something happens, it'll get spun really negatively. And we're going to see it happen again. And I don't know how big of a deal it'll be this time. This could be another... I don't think it will be as big as the chat reporting stuff, but it could be a pretty big controversy as it gets spun up. And... yeah, I'm just sick of seeing this happen over and over again. With this time though, I do feel like there's a little bit more that could be said on Microsoft's behalf, or Mojang's, which is communication. Like, there's a lack of communication, and it doesn't help. But as some of you would have seen, one of the is it Mindvention has been cancelled, and so it gets painted therefore as a kind of like, you know, Microsoft, Mojang, I don't know, hate the fan base or whatever. And people buy into it. And the truth is always going to be way more, you know, not black and white, grey areas, difficult to understand. A whole bunch of information that we don't really actually know about as well, right? Like, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. You only get drip-fed certain amounts of information, and then people go and sort of build their own little story in their head of what all of this means. And depending on where your initial slant is, you're probably either going to go in one direction or another. But yeah, Microsoft or Mojang have sort of enforced some of their EULA agreements or whatever it is, and it's led Mindvention to be cancelled. And a lot of people like their Minecraft conventions, and why wouldn't they? They're great. But it just feels like another one of these moments where everyone will be running wild with what it means, telling you this and that about it, and the thing is, Microsoft haven't really communicated their reasons why. Sort of heard one side of the story so far. And I was given some information from Mojang/Microsoft to communicate about what's actually, well, I say actually, you know, like, it's not really in that sort of frame of like, oh, but actually, no. It, you know, they've taken like, you know, they've explained their position, and they've come to us YouTubers through our lines of communication that we have to explain like what's going on and give us something that we can pass on to the community. And I was initially like, yeah, thanks for doing this. I'm gonna, you know, get out there, explain it, and give you, you know, the information. But the other side of the story travelled a lot quicker, and I saw what people were saying about it, and I immediately just thought, I don't want to be in the middle of something like this. I don't have to be. I'm not big on the convention stuff myself. Why should I put myself basically in the middle of this again? Like I put myself in it with the chat reporting stuff, right? I tried to essentially speak to reason, ask people not to get all fired up, and did it in a way that honestly was just not so great, right? I kind of get why it didn't work very well. It was a big learning experience for me. And I don't want to do that again. But I don't think this is the way like Microsoft and Mojang should be communicating. Like, they should probably be talking directly to the broader audience and making them more informed than going through someone like myself or other content creators to explain it for them. Like, once I realized that people have certain bits of information, a narrative will form, people will be upset and angry about what's going on, and then I come around and go, oh no, wait, but you know, we've been told this, you see, it's not quite how you thought it was. They're just going to be like, just as angry about it. It's not really going to change much. And then I've stuck my foot in something that I am not really that passionate about or informed about, you know, like, and what I've realized is that this is the way that they've decided to communicate, is by going through us, which potentially could be a good way to do it if done right. Like, can't knock the idea out just because of what it is. But this kind of means, you know, they don't put out any information on their policies and why they're doing what they're doing. And people like myself have to explain it. And then I just, you know, I'll get all the hateful comments. And, I mean, not that, obviously, tons of it gets directed at the developers and stuff, which is sad as well. And people who work at Mojang and are probably, like, you know, part of the PR teams or the people helping make these decisions, like, they'll get attacked too. But, like, do you really, like, no one really knows the bigger picture behind this stuff. My speculation is that a lot of this negativity, and I say speculation because I'm talking about, I have a perspective, I don't have inside information on this, but I get the feeling that the Microsoft corporate structure has a lot of top-down stuff happening, where decisions come from the top and then they come down and they have to be executed. And it kind of explains why they can be quite slow to respond to stuff sometimes, because you have this thing to go through first, and it just slows everything down. You know, if some drama and controversy happens in the community, it doesn't seem like there's someone there who understands how to communicate with the community and sort the issue out before it becomes too much of a problem. It's always just too late and too clunky with the responses. And yeah, my theory is that it's a very top-down thing. So somewhere further up the chain, I think someone's got a problem with these conventions, and it will probably not be that they hate, like you'll hear in these videos, that they, you know, just hate people having fun at conventions and yada yada yada. It's probably like in these arguments, when you hear them, because you're gonna hear them, this is the drama in the community right now. You'll hear, you'll probably, it won't be talked about too much, it'll get glossed over. But who remembers those stories of scam conventions in the name of Minecraft? There was these conventions popping up that were just taking the money and running, or like turning out to be a complete disaster when people turned up. And like, we'll forget about those moments, and I think it's a case of someone up top doesn't like that those things have happened and doesn't want them to happen again. And then it comes down through the chain of command, and along the way it really kind of like loses its ability to properly be communicated to the Minecraft community, and then allows these little narratives to run away again. And I feel like you see it with some of the game design decisions as well. It feels like somewhere up top someone wants to hit a particular audience or market, or create an update that's marketable to this audience or that audience. For example, like with the Chinese edition of Minecraft, and the panda in the whatever update it was with the panda was in. And we love our Minecraft pandas. We love pandas. You know, nothing against the Chinese people, but like I think you can see that it was clearly aimed to target an audience. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know, but like the way it affects development, I think you can see with not only that feature but other things as well. I don't think you have like a really crafty team of people that know what direction Minecraft needs to go in. I think you have that top-down, you know, here's what we need to achieve with the next update from some people up top. So like with this latest drama, I'm not going to talk about it in my videos, like, and I might not do with future ones as well. I think Microsoft and Mojang need to change how they communicate with their audience, and I don't want to get in the middle of it as much as I am motivated to try and help. But maybe if the topic is something that's my wheelhouse, I don't know, something I'm quite knowledgeable about and I remember the history of well, because I don't remember the history of the scam conventions and the things that happened in the past and the ones that got cancelled. It's all a bit blurry to me. It would maybe be a place for me to speak, but yeah. So that's that. Seacurls is typing. If any of you have a message to throw my way regarding this topic, got a moment here just to read a couple if you like. But yeah, and what is my opinion on it? Like, as I think I pretty much summed it up. I think there's a communication issue from top to bottom, and I think there's probably reasonable reasons that Microsoft would want to, you know, properly have a relationship with people that create conventions in their name. And I don't know the details of what's happened with my invention. Is it fair or not? Yada yada yada. I don't know. Like, there's so much more with this stuff always behind the scenes that if you knew, then you could probably have a better take on it. So I'm not going to come out with a take about how Mojang and Microsoft are trying to kill conventions or anything like that. And if you listen to some of the arguments from that side, at least the ones I've listened to, just, you know, completely uncharitable interpretations of events. Like, when you listen to someone waffling on like I am right now with an opinion, remember it's a narrative, and that sometimes you just continuously build little arguments on top of other ones, and like, some of those can be speculative. Like, you can stack speculative comments over and over again, and it starts to sound like, oh yeah, this is really negative, like this is really bad, but then it's like, well, wait a minute, like, a lot of stuff is just not fully proven or whatever. I don't know. You get a sense of it the more you like step back from what you're listening to. Like, you're a little less direct with it. You're more like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but let's think it through a bit, and then maybe you'll understand what I mean. Both regarding to the update with pandas and earlier regard to the update with corals, it was, after all, we had something to do for those areas so that they did not disappear. Yeah, there might have been a motivation like that as well. Yeah. In your snapshot video, you're talking about performance update. I've recently switched my solo world to the snapshot and I'm getting more FPS than I used to with optimization mods. Without those mods, really nice update from Mojang. Yeah. And hopefully people will give them some props for that, because, God, the amount of times I read nasty comments about how Mojang need to make the game run better, seems like they found a way to do that. Negomir says, sadly, big companies have a history of not being great at communication. Doing it through YouTubers in the community could work, but they need to be more on top of it. It cannot be after the fact. Yeah, it could. In fact, I think it'd be a great way. But, like, they've really got to give us a lot of solid information and back us up, because you put yourself in the line of fire with this stuff. Neg says, feels more appropriate to post it in the news on the Minecraft hub rather than pushing responsibility onto the public-facing users of their product. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. It sounds a little intentional the way you word it. I don't know if they realise that's now how they're doing what they're doing, but yeah, that's what's happening, you know. Cool. Any more? Let me check something real quick. Ah, okay. I've been looking at my timer and I'm like, the playlist should have stopped by now, but then I remember that these, the songs that we're listening to, they're like legit OG. I've had them since, I don't know, the year 2000 or something, right? These are ones that I ripped myself from the game, and because of that, I forgot that the MP3s, they have this weird quirkiness where the time of the song changes as you're listening, and I don't know, it's just something to do with the technology back then. So the playlist is a little bit longer than I thought it was. So we'll take a few more while we listen to the last of the soundtrack. Curl says, Microsoft might have just changed their legal policies and they didn't know what it would mean for my invention. Then my invention put out the statement and now everyone is mad. Exactly. That's literally, well, I'm not going to say literally, but that's quite likely what's happening. Legal policy changes inside the structure of Microsoft, then they have to deal with all of that. And no one wants to... Here I am saying no one. Don't lump everyone into a single category. A lot of people don't engage in thinking about things like that, right? It always has to be simplified down to, like, I don't know, Microsoft is some big dumb corporation, you know, bashing its fans on the head or whatever. Like, sometimes when you step back from those arguments and think a little bit, it's like, all right, so Microsoft wants to kill its own game. Does it now? The amount of times I've seen comments about, you know, Java's going to get killed. I've been reading those comments since Bedrock Edition came out, and guess what? Java's still here. Do you have the MP3 uploaded somewhere? I can fix them, says Cerulean Phoenix. They don't need fixing. They're fine. I'll leave them as is. If I feel like listening to more Frank as well, I remembered that we got the remasters to listen to, which I kind of forgot about. The remastered soundtrack too. Right, I guess for the very last bit of the stream, there's one thing it makes sense to do right now. And I don't know if I left those items in a chest somewhere. Or put them in a place where I could grab them again. Oh. But you know what? I don't need to grab them, because where we're going to go, there's plenty of them, so... do I have everything I should have in here? I do. I'm organised. We're ready to move on. Are they putting it on their Minecraft YouTubers, says DRC? You know, like, for all the things that I've said, it's just the way the communication is happening. It's made me feel like I shouldn't be in the middle of this, because I'm getting information to pass on, right? So, are they sitting around going, we'll let the YouTubers take the blame for this? Probably not. Very unlikely. But the way it's happening is that we're being given the information, and then I've realised that if I come out and talk about this, I'm just going to put myself in the middle of an argument, right? And I don't think I should do that. And therefore, you know, whatever the intended goal of communicating with us is, it's probably not the best way forward. Oh wait, we use an... Ah yes, we use this, don't we now? We use this now. I could do with like a few extra blocks to like pillar up and down with really as well. Oh look at this! Do I need hoppers and stuff? I do actually. Oh my god, it's still draining? There's probably like so many of these here. It's still sorting itself out. Wow. I wonder how full these are as well. Huh. Yeah, I kind of forgot about this. Well, those don't need to go in there, do they? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, some of those might, I guess, end up in the wrong place. But doing a little bit of tidying up over here. Never a problem. There is a meaning behind every action, and there is always someone who will abuse them. I guess so. I don't know quite what that means and what we're talking about. Are they changing Bedrock to look like Java? Every parity change benefit Java, says Dine227. Yeah, the way you worded that, it reminds me that, you know, there's like this hate from Java players to Bedrock that I've seen over the years. By the way, I don't hate Bedrock Edition, it's computer code. But I've also seen it flipped. I've noticed it flipped sometimes. Sometimes it's like Bedrock players are moaning. And I'm like, can you see how much you have in common here? Like, one edition moaning about the other. It's funny. It's funny. Yes, the parity I noticed a while ago that all of a sudden the Bedrock changelogs had a lot of parity, and it tends to be in the direction to Java. I'm going to be biased towards it being in the direction of Java. Java is the original though, so you can use that in its defense, that hey, it was here first. It was here first, man. Ah, look, some more stuff came back around. Yeah, I'll do this last bit manually, I think. So yeah, sometimes it goes the other way. You know, Bedrock players might moan about some stuff related to Java or something. Fascinating, really. I play Bedrock with my kids. I play Java myself. The villager mechanics make no sense to me on Bedrock. And you can't hold anything but a shield in your offhand. Yeah, and scaffolding doesn't work, right? There's all sorts of quirkiness. By the way, if you want to play with your kids, there are mods for Java that let Bedrock connect to a Java server. So, like, maybe something you want to look into. Or maybe you don't want to play with your kids. No, I'm messing. Still waiting on Vault Hunters for Bedrock, says ye old Dice Goblin. Unless this gal's said he's making a one on there, you are probably not going to see that. Because, in fact, I'm not sure if Scal could even really make a decent Vault Hunters on Bedrock. There are, you know, we talked earlier about, like, saying you can't do stuff as being a problem, and then you realise maybe there is a way. Maybe there is a way to make Vault Hunters on Bedrock, but as I understand the capabilities of Bedrock, I think making something like Vault Hunters on it could be really difficult. Maybe not impossible, actually. Anyway, you might be waiting a heck of a long time. Heck of a long time. A script about the communication topic between Mojang, Microsoft, and the community might actually be a really interesting one for the main channel. That could create more understanding and maybe be a wake-up call for Mojang. Not for the Mindvention. But I think you have a really good point. The lack of communication, and in general, many people feel it. But I don't know how to articulate it. That's actually, yeah, that might actually be a great talking point for me. I've been feeling a little bit like uninspired for the script writing stuff lately. But as you might have heard from my waffle, I'm quite passionate about this because it's become so clear to me. And, you know, I don't want to talk about the thing itself, but like talking about the meta of it is an interesting perspective, which I think is one that probably wouldn't land me in hot water, because I don't think I can just tolerate being thrown into a drama right now, you know? Like, I don't think you should shy away from having opinions, because there's, like, you know, consequences, if you like, to that sometimes. But also you got to check your mental health energy a bit, right? And check in with yourself and, like, where are you at? And I think maybe right now I couldn't tolerate it, which is why I didn't say anything. Maybe if I were in a different mood, I might have just jumped in and said something. Vault Hunters on Bedrock will take 10 times the effort to make Vault Hunters on Java, because the cumulative amount of mods created do not exist together. It's the backpack of the mod packs. Maybe, but like, modding is different on Bedrock. If what they wanted to achieve was possible in simpler ways because of the nature of Bedrock, you know. I mean, I immediately jumped to saying it's not possible because Bedrock kind of looks and feels so different. If you wanted to create the authentic, identical experience, probably not possible. But they could create something very similar, and then based on the limitations, you know, it might be that it's not as crazy as you think. I don't know. But anyway, we have reached the end of the playlist and therefore the end of the stream. It is now time for me to crack on with the rest of my day. So hit that follow button if you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for hanging out with me. Big thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thank you to the mods, the patrons, the people gifting subs. I do not know when I will next stream again. I've got a feeling it'll probably be Tuesday unless I decide to upgrade my system sooner. So if you don't see me for a while, I'll be just working on my PC. That is all. And we've got to find someone to raid, right? Let's check out... Well, I'll send you over to Iskal. We were just talking about Vault Hunters. you can ask him about Vault Hunters on Bedrock Edition. Anyway, that is it from me. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you soon.